Hello, let's talk about David Lynch, Dune. Well, I will say about extended cut. Well, I think that it is it is more well okay. I have some difficulties with English language, but anyway, I try to say it. We have a lot of material in this in original book and in this movie, and if we will take the theater cut, so we have a lot of material without which we cannot understand the movie right, or we cannot understand some plot lines. This is why we need to extended cut. We can understand more some things. You see, we have some problem with equalization of the original book. Because why? Because it's a very big book, and it has a lot of ideas. And the plot of the book is a bit strange. You see, we have some points in the original book which we cannot explain. So why did the emperor go to Dune, to Arrakis, to the planet? Why did he leave his palace? The first question. Well, maybe the second question. How that guys, people on Arrakis, how can they fight with Sardaukars or with soldiers? Why are they so supreme? Why are supreme people? Why are they so good fighters? Well, you see, when you have army, regular army, and you have some rebellions, the army will defeat just a civilian population. And it is the second weak point of the book. Maybe, this is two big weak points. Maybe the third weak point. Why didn't the guild, the space guild, why didn't they conquer everything? Well, they could. They just control, travels between planets. They can do everything they want. They can just put some waters to Arrakis and conquer it. So we have some weak points of the original book, and we have some ideas in original book which are not acceptable in a modern world. For example, what is spice? It is drug. Well, literally, you eat some spice and it means that you eat some drug. It we cannot show this on a screen. And we have a lot of other ideas. We have the whole universe that we should explain in such a little movie. For example, what is the Space Guild? How do work the Lancelot and the Emperor? Who are Atreides and Harkonnens? What means the power in Dune? Because Harkonnens want everybody afraid of them, and Duke Leto Atreides, he wanted that everybody loved him. Who are Bene Gesserit? So you should give a lot of explanation in a movie. You should give a lot of you should introduce the whole world, okay? And it is a very hard job. The next, you have a lot of characters in the original book. Zufir Hawat, Paul Atreides, Leto Atreides, his mother Jessica, Baron Victor Harkonnen, his two heirs, the Emperor, his daughter Irulan, and Space Guild, and so on and so on and so on. You have a lot of characters, and you should to explain them. So what the what the main weak point in the movie. You see, they couldn't explain everything. They tried, but they couldn't. They tried to take a really big book into a very short movie. And well, if you have to explain everything, if you have such a lot of characters, you cannot do it properly. You cannot put each character, each plot line, each original thoughts in the movie. You should make it easier. Well, what is the story of Paul Atreides? I think that it is something like Superman and Avengers. Well, his father was killed. He go to the desert. He found there a lot of people, and he led them to the victory. And he became a Superman. Well, yeah, Superman, because he can see the future. He can calculate almost everything. He can see what people around him thinking about, and so on and so on. So this is what do I mean. I mean that they, well, he failed to explain everything. Well, when we saw The Lord of the Ring, we could understand everything. What is the ring? What should they do? Well, how can they defeat the Sauron? Who is Sauron? Who are elves and dwarves and ants and so on? Well, maybe because Peter Jackson changed his understanding of the world of the ring. Well, now it is about a great king who was a stranger, and about a man who was a stranger but now he is a king. Something like the King Arthur. And in Dune, well, the director tried to explain everything and to put everything from book to the movie. And well, you see, the movie is a bit shorter than the book. You cannot explain everything. You should somehow to change characters, to change some plot lines, to change their words, to change sense. We should understand what do we see on a screen. Something like, okay, we have Paul Atreides. He loved his mother and father. Then his father was killed. He go to desert. He found there some men, and he led them to the victory. This should be the main thing in a movie. But now we just have a not very good movie. It has good actors, good characters. Some effects are very good, but we have bad effects. For example, their shields, and how and why did Paul Atreides won? He invented some weapons, but yet another plot, weak plot from the book. Why didn't they use nuclear weapons against these rebellions? And Paul Atreides, he somehow won Emperor with these sound guns. I don't think it is a great point. And some characters, they were not developed in the movie. We cannot understand what happened to, well, I don't know, to Duncan Idaho, to Zuvir Hawat, and so on. And well, okay, it's not a very good movie. We have a lot of things, and I just can see that in a movie. That, for example, I don't understand that in a movie, but I have read a book, and this why I understand what is going on. But I think that the movie should be, well, you should understand the movie as it is, without book. Maybe we don't need explanation about who are Space Guild or what do they want. And maybe we don't need Emperor here, or at least we shouldn't see him so much time. We just need, well, explanation that Emperor is one of an enemy and the Pole should defeat him. So they tried, but they failed. It could be a good movie, but special effects are not very good. We have something great about that movie. Some effects are very great, but you see, well, these effects are bad and these effects are good, and it doesn't impress me. So okay, it is the whole problems of equalization, because if you have a very good and a very great and big book, you should somehow change it to put it into a movie. Well, you should make it shorter, and you should cut off something that you think is not important, and you should add something that you think is important. For example, the character is thinking about something, or we have some explanation in the book. Well, for example, we have the first chapter, yes, in the Gerbert's book, Gerbert's Dune, Frank Gerbert. And in that first chapter we have a, long explanation, who are, I don't remember, something about Spice Guild, or something about Emperor, or something about Irulan, and we cannot put it into a movie. So we should cut off a great part of a movie to make it visible. It's something like the Ring of Power. We don't understand a lot. We just understand, okay, there is a Sauron. Who is he? He is, something like a devil. Okay, we have 9 Nazguls. Who are they? They just slaves of a ring, and they are bad guys. They are spirits. Okay, we have trolls. We have orcs. Who are orcs? They are just ugly guys. Okay, who are trolls? They are ugly guys, but they are very tall. It's everything. It's everything about explanation. We don't have a great world. Well, we have a great world behind this, but we don't have a great world in a movie. We just have these stereotypes. So in a movie, they try to explain us who is Space Guild, but how do you understand? How do you explain this? Well, something like we have Iran, and she will speak maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes about, Spice Guild. They are guys who can travel among the space. They use spice, and we have planet where you can take this spice. Oh, there was a planet X, and on that planet they built some spaceship. Okay, you have spice and you can control Spice Guild, but what will you do with this planet X? You cannot do anything with that. And this is another weak point of a movie. So they just should make a movie about, Aragorn, who returned to his kingdom. And Paul Atreides, he should be something like Aragorn, who lost his kingdom and who wants to conquer it. Well, my conclusion: the movie tries to explain everything, but it fails. Well, not very good. 6 point out of 10. Thank you for your attention.